Alright, what's up guys, it's Battle back for another Zenless Zone 0 video, or ZZZ video. Today we're going to be doing some summons for Yixuan and see how they go. Before we get started though, I really appreciate you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, it will really help me out trying to get 1,000 subscribers. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, well, we're 45 pulls away. I am guaranteed Yixuan here, so if we get it early, cool. If we don't, you know, it's only 45 pulls, you know, I got plenty of pulls here. Overall summons, you know, if we were to count, we're looking at 133 with the extra 20. That's about 150 summons. So, you know, we should be fine. We should be fine. But anyways, let's get right into this. Probably gonna be a little bit anticlimactic because, you know, I am guaranteed Yixuan here. Thanks to Vivian saying that, nah, I ain't gonna show up. Not gonna lie though, I was a little bit bummed out that Vivian didn't show up for me. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, because it just means, hey, at least Yixuan's guaranteed for me. Doesn't seem like she wants to come out early, though. Alright, how many we got left? 20 more pulls, 25. Surely she comes out on this one. Surely at the very least she comes out on this one, right? Okay, never mind. Alright. No shot she's gonna make me do the last 15 pulls here. Oh, at least we got Panda. I heard Panda's actually pretty good with the Yixuan. I do wonder though if Astriel's gonna be better than Panda though. I feel like Astriel has to be better than Panda though, right? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see though. Oh, there we go. Okay, slightly early. You know, we got it within 5. Then by pity. Sadly, no doubles. Kind of cringe, not gonna lie. All right, well, let's get into it. All right, hurry up. All right, let's see Yixuan. My guaranteed Yixuan. Hey, there she is. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yixuan. Whoa. Guaranteed. Damn, that's crazy. I got Yixuan, guys. It only took like 40 pulls. Wow. Man, they couldn't even have given me a double, man. And greedy game. Greedy game. All right, well, let's see if I can get the W engine, because, you know, there's not really that many rupture weapons that are available. I mean, they did add some free-to-play ones to the free-to-play shop. We can buy the A-rank ones, but why would I want to use one of those, you know, for a cool DPS character like this? So hopefully get a little lucky and we get Yixuan's W engine very early. Hopefully. Surely we will get her W engine early, like right here. We'll see the shine. We'll see hear the okay, yeah. Maybe the next one, guys. Maybe the next one we'll see that. But hey, you know, at least we're getting more A-rank weapons, which is cool. You know, that helps me build up my full Char's weapon when I eventually decide to use her, and maybe Panda's weapon, because I think his is included in this as well. So, you know, technically we're still benefiting from this, even if we aren't getting Yixuan's weapon right away. This will be a little bit better right away. All right, we're halfway to pity. All right, great. That doesn't make me feel that great. I'm gonna be honest. That does not make me feel that great. Now we passed half pity. All right, even better. All right, yep. Love ZZZ luck for summons. Love summoning on ZZZ. My luck has never been better. Wow, okay, yeah, let's just keep it going, yeah. Let's just keep going closer and closer to pity, huh? To 20 more pulls. I can't wait. Oh, hey, there it is. Wow, we got it 10 early. Or I guess 20 early, I don't know. It is guaranteed. Surely the W engine's guaranteed, right? Like, surely I'm not going to see some other random ass like W engine, right? I'm pretty sure this should just be Yixuan's W engine, right? Surely, chat, right? Right? Like, there's no weird 50-50 nonsense on this W engine banner, because that would be odd, right? That'd be super weird. Yeah, we should just be seeing the cool new bird cage kind of thing she got going on. And there it is, the bird cage. Let's go. I actually don't know if you can use the 50. I think you can, right? But hey, we made it out alive. You know, we did have to go quite deep, but we made it out alive. 6K is not a lot of summons left over. That's 40 pulls. I mean, that's half halfway to pity, I guess. Awesome. I mean, hey, we almost have enough to buy a W engine if I want to do that. Or I can buy 26 more pools. Not gonna lie, I'd probably just go for a pool at this point. Yeah, not too surprising. With the way my somebody are looking, I don't really know if that's gonna be a smart idea to benefit people. I mean, you know, maybe I'll have a chance to, but yeah, not really a However, it looks like the upcoming character is another support, and there's a good chance they may also be really, really good, but for different teams. So just keep that in mind. There's a hint that she might be boosting anomaly characters because the other character seems to be, I think it's an anomaly DPS character seemingly. So we might be getting an Astro Gal for anomaly. So just keep that in mind when you are summoning to not go too crazy. For me personally, I think getting a character and their weapon is fine as long as it's like every now and then. I mean, if you have the money for it, you know, fuck it, right? But if you're like a free to play, I think you should only really get the weapon if they're like a DPS character like Miyabi, Yixuan. If they're like really OP characters, then I think in that regard, and in that case, it's probably worth picking up the weapon. But if it's someone like Astrial, who's a support character, or if it's like a stunner character, I highly would not recommend to get their Wenjin unless you have the money for it. Because even then, the Wenjin here, it's good, but like you don't really need it compared to Yixuan, who has very limited options, and the Wenjin is also just going to be making do way more damage, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. If it's like a high tier DPS character, I go for the weapon if you want to. But if the support, stunner, or whatever else, you probably don't need it. There's probably decent or good free to play options regardless. But yeah, there's a couple different teams that I am running for my Yixuan here. I'm running, so like in one team I'm basically running her, Astrogao, and Panda, or Pan Yihu, whatever. Basically, it's called Panda. He's pretty good because he does actually buff up Yixuan's damage, but eventually I'm assuming he's going to be replaced probably. But he's a nice option to have because he does boost Yixuan's damage because he does have like a rupture passive ability or something that increases like rupture damage by like, I don't know, 20% or something. Or my bad, sheer by 18% of his attack. So, hey, it's pretty good, right? Basically, we're guaranteed buff for Yixuan. So that's like currently the best team is him, Astrogao, and Yixuan. We also run some other teams too. Like I ran like an Ether team with Astrogao, Yixuan, or Zuyang, Zuyang. Fuck, I can't say it. Zuyan. I fucked it like 10,000 times. Yeah, it's like on the team. It's kind of fun. It's not maybe the best team, but it kind of works. Of course, in that future, right, in like next patch, once Yixuan here does leave, you could probably do Jufu, Panda, and then Yixuan. So you have your stunner, your supporter here, and then Yixuan, or you could just have Astrogao as well as your buffer instead. To totally work out in that regard. But there's definitely different options in what like and one of the weekly game mode, I forget what it's called, the tower Hollow Zero. Yeah, my bad, Hollow Zero. I always forget the names in this game. Hollow Zero I'm actually running. It's not really optimal, it's kind of fun. A team with Miyabi, Astrial, and Yixuan. That has been kind of fun. I don't think that's really optimal, especially if you're doing like the weekly fear, or not the weekly, the deadly assault, or it should be defense. Probably don't want to run that, you know, because you're kind of like taking away you're putting two good DPS characters on one team, so in that case, maybe don't want to do that, since, you know, you kind of need two teams for that, right? But that's just like something I'm running. But yeah, that's probably like the most teams that you would probably use. I think another one that's probably pretty good is actually running Vivian in there. Vivian will probably help out Yixuan's damage quite a bit, so that's something that would be a decent option. I have been seeing people use Trigger as their stunner instead. So, you know, if you do have Trigger, she's another pretty good option for stunning. And then that's pretty much about it. I probably wouldn't say anyone else is that useful with Yixuan at that point, until, you know, we get more future characters from Season 2 or easy. But yeah. I think that basically covers everything. Different, almost forget. I guess we could do a couple minutes because something just came up on my head. This big moves actually, you know, it's what it does isn't too crazy. Basically, this should be saying two, but we'll get to why it says one here. But basically, when there's two or more summon characters from like what Yixuan works out or whatever, basically the damage of this little guy jumps to 37%. And then when someone uses an ultimate, the cooldown of this dude's active skill gets reduced by 4 seconds, and it can be triggered up to 2 times. And then basically, it lets him do more damage from his active skill and boost his damage there. And then yeah, that's pretty much about it. He doesn't really buff the team at all. He's mainly here just to do damage himself. So I don't really know if this guy's really that useful personally, other than him just focusing on dealing physical damage. But yeah, but the reason why this is one though is because it looks like they might start. Looks like they may be starting to do something new with Bang Boo's, where if you do get enough dupes, like in this case, if you get 3 dupes of this guy, this now becomes from 2 to 1. So you can now just have one character from like Yixuan or Panda, and then you will be able to activate all this. But like I said, I don't really know how useful this is. I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe one of these other ones will be better, that like maybe buffs team or something. But at the same time, right? Some of these other ones do depend on having like 2 or more, so you may not be able to run these older ones depending on what team you're using. But you know, this one is like a new one where you just need one of the characters once you have 3 dupes. So I think that's just kind of cool. Right? If they're starting to do that, so just keep that in mind for the future. We may be getting some more power creep Bang Boos that only require, once you have a certain amount of dupes, you only need one character from the squad or whatever, right? And then one last thing we might as well look at. You know, we still have the events here. I still haven't caught up to season 2. Yeah, I still have to finish a little bit left, 1.7, and then I can finally dig into season 2. But I really need to hurry up because, you know, it's not good to wait too long, especially with all these events here that are probably going to be required for me to be already in the new area. And also, Yixuan will be here for about another week. Yeah, so 7 more days, guys, and then that's all you got left for Yixuan. If you get it in that time, cool. If you don't, it is what it is. Kind of sucks. You'll probably have to wait till the rerun whenever that happens eventually. But there's a lot of great characters coming out in the near future. Anyways, guys, I'm out. You see, I always think I forget. I always like, that's it, right? But there's one more thing. I didn't show you guys my build. Probably one of the more important parts, right? So this is my build. This is what I'm running here with my stats. You know, it's not too bad, but I think it's like 1 or 2 discs that I need to fix up. But this is basically what I'm running here. She has 17k HP, 53 crit rate, looking pretty good. 131 crit damage, it's all right. And then 2,400 sheer force, which, you know, it's not too bad either. Almost got her, basically got her maxed out. I just need to get a few more to this, and that'll be maxed out. And then these are basically the discs I'm running here. You know, that's decent subset. So this one has like HP %, crit damage, which is like the 2 minimum. This one only has crit rate, crit damage, so having no HP in there. This one has crit damage, crit rate, attack % anomaly. This one's actually pretty good, though if the attack was like HP, that'd probably be a lot better, to be honest. This one rolled decently as well. This one's crit damage focus, crit rate substat, HP % substat, and attack anomaly for proficiency substat. This one's actually quite good. The flat attack's kind of whatever, but at the same time, like these other 3 substats kind of make up for it, so I don't really mind. This one we got Ether with crit rate and HP %, so honestly pretty good in my opinion, so not that bad. The 3 rolls into penetration is kind of whatever, kind of sucks, but you know, still pretty good for substats. And then my last one here is HP main stat, crit damage, crit rate. Honestly, pretty good. Granted, the 2 defense substats are kind of whatever. Could have been something more useful, but at the same time, getting crit rate, crit damage with the HP main stat is still kind of worth it in my opinion. Though on the other hand, right, The fact that it rolled only into defense does kind of suck a lot, where if these two rolls were into crit damage and crit rate, or like all 4 went to crit damage, this would be way better. So kind of sucks, but yeah. But overall, still pretty good build, I'd say. Yeah, looking for most of these. Definitely might need to work around some of these or something to see if I can get better rolls, but yeah. Overall, pretty good build. All right, now that pretty much wraps it up. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, hope you guys, good luck with you guys summons if you guys are still trying to get Yixuan. I think she's a really good character, though I do also recommend to not go too crazy, because there might be future characters coming out very soon that might be also really worth picking up. Because mind you guys, when Miyabi did come out, she was the most broken DPS in the game. Literally like a patch after, we got the most broken support in the game. So just keep that in mind. They may be doing something like that similar, just saying, because really good DPS character, we're getting a support next patch. Just like what happened with Miyabi, really good DPS character, next patch was a supporter, which was Asher Yao, which is a really broken support. So just keep that in mind. Be careful with how you spend your pools. For me, there's also future characters that I do want to pull for, like the dry orange hair dragon chick. I think she's pretty hot. I would like to roll for her, but at the same time, I might have to spend some of these summons for that support character coming in next patch, because she might be worth it. And if she is for Anomaly, at least from my account, she wouldn't be. I mean, she would help on my Miyabi. Like, honestly, it wouldn't be that bad, right? Because if she is a really good support character, she's for Anomaly characters, what I could do is I could run Astro Yao with Yixuan here, and then I can run that new support chick with Miyabi here, because Miyabi's an actual Anomaly, so that would work out pretty well, right? I guess the one downside is maybe I wouldn't be able to use the one Bang Blue that uses this squad here. I forgot the name of the squad, but I wouldn't be able to use that Bang Blue. But there's probably another Bang Blue I could use, or maybe in the new upcoming Bang Blue might be worth it. Maybe it has the same thing where it's like if you get 3 nips of it, you only need 1 character from the squad, and if I have the support character from that squad, maybe it'll still proc it, right? So yeah, and also Bernice is kind of whatever here on my team. To be honest, if I had like I don't know, Caesar or who am I forgetting? Jane Doe Bernice might be really good, but Bernice is just kind of chilling here for most time, or for the time being. But regardless, though, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just want to keep that on your guys' mind. Just be careful with how you roll. And I'm assuming most of you guys already spent your free S rank selector, but if you haven't for some reason, best pickups would be Lycan and Rina. And if you already have those 2 characters, either go for a character you don't own, or go for another dupe of Rina, because Rina is actually pretty good when you get dupes for her, because she's a support character as well. So another good option. As for Wenjins, probably just go for whatever you need. If you need a DPS one, go for that one. If you need something for stunners, go for that one, or vice versa, right? Or Anomaly, right? Anomaly isn't too bad as well. The one that the race has is pretty good. The one I highly would avoid, though, is the one for Nekomata. Do not get Nekomatas. I mean, Nekomatas isn't that bad. Problem is that it's very focused on Nekomata, where it boosts your physical damage or whatever. So that one I would highly recommend to stay away from, because you're gonna have to wait till we get another physical DPS character. So otherwise, it's not really gonna help you out with that many teams. Whereas like Soldier 11 does generally just give you like a fat attack boost. So that's the one you would go for if you need something for like a DPS character, like an attack character, right? But yeah, that wraps things up. So good luck with you guys' summons, and I'll see all you guys later. Peace and take care, everybody.